Last week, I did a video on why nurses are going broke. And I gave, obviously, credit to the content creator. And so y'all go and subscribe to the channel. I did a review video of a woman that was in a truck. A woman on the Anton Daniels channel. I did a review video of a woman that was in a semi, and she was a driver. And I did a review video, and I wasn't even talking about her specifically. It's so funny listening to these review videos. First of all, people that talk about money, they're not used to the criticism. Secondly, women that jump on TikTok and all of this stuff, and they start talking all of this money stuff or whatever, or whether or not men are doing this and doing that, and then they don't like the feedback. How you gonna make a public video, but then don't like for somebody to react to it just because they got a bigger platform than you? And then she got all in her emotions because she was saying, yeah, women ain't for the streets just because they throw on some fishnet stockings, be in Miami twerking all up and down the beach. You ain't getting my number. And so then we did a live stream, and I wanted to get everybody else's reactions to what she said. And then a guy called in at work with her and said, she ain't holding it back. She been busting it down for a real one, and she been talking to a married man. Now, I didn't know how true that was. However, he said it. We never brought him on a platform. We never substantiated whether it was true or not. But it's content. People give their opinions. And so as a result, people react to it. And then somebody sent me some stuff that she was typing. She was mad. I'm not going to watch his video, but I know he was talking about me. You was talking about yourself. We just reacted to what you said. Anyways, neither here nor there. That was just a little small rant. I want to get into this video. This was the original video that inspired the video that I reacted to last week, of the woman that was basically saying that nurses are broke. Nurses are going broke out here in these streets. And so this was the original video, and she was talking about why nurses are broke despite the fact that they make $100,000, $200,000 plus dollars a year. Let me go ahead and put my picture back up here because I feel like I'm missing. There we go. A year. And I want to get her perspective on it. And so I thought it would be nice to react to the original video. Her name is according to Tawanda. Tawanda has 16,000 subscribers, 16,600 subscribers as of the live streaming and recording of this video. If you guys like her content, make sure you go and check her out. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's get into the video.
Y'all get on in here because today we got a chat. Today, we will be talking about why are nurses broke. I will be discussing 11 of the top reasons that some, in a lot of cases, most nurses are broke. Okay? Let me first start by saying that this is a safe and non-judgmental space.
Not on the Millionaire Morning Show. Not on the Millionaire Morning Show. We believe in judging, and we don't believe in safe spaces. We don't believe in safe spaces. There is no safe space. We believe in shaming, judging, using this as an example to illustrate why you should or shouldn't. But we also give credit where credit is due. Shout out to Tawanda.
This space is safe and non-judgmental. Today, I am going to be ringing the alarm. Literally.
Talk about it, girl.
Ringing the alarm on why nurses are broke. Okay? I had the absolute pleasure of speaking to a subscriber from this channel. She emailed me. She shared some things in that email, honey, and we needed to chat. Okay? She has given me permission to discuss her email and our very extensive conversation. In that email, she shared with me that last year, 2022, from January the 1st of 2022 to December 31st of 2022, she grossed $182,000.
Now, she's saying that this woman that she was talking to said that in a 1-year period, from the beginning of the year all the way to the end of the year, she grossed $182,000. Let me ask y'all a question. Is that a sufficient amount for y'all to actually be able to take care of business, pay off your debt, not increase your lifestyle, maybe pay off your cars, pay off your credit cards, get yourself on good footing for 1 year? This is not the first time that they're a nurse, and this is a year in which they made a lot of money. I don't know if there was a traveling nurse. I don't know if they made a lot of money in overtime. Regardless, nurses are largely considered people that get to the bag, and it's a lot of women that get into nursing. It's a lot of guys that get into nursing. One of the things that I did inside of the Patreon, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon and look at nurses. Type into the search bar nursing once you join my Patreon. I had 3 different male nurses come on the platform and I coached them through, and they managed their money effectively to where they literally paid off their debt. They taking care of business. They have investments. Most of them don't even have a house because they travel so much that they live on the road that they just keep their stuff at their parents' house, or they keep their stuff, or they sold majority of their stuff and they keep the rest of their stuff inside of their parents' house for whenever they come back for the holidays or whatever. But they have a huge portfolio. They have real estate investment properties. They have properties that are paid off and they just get into the bag. And so they gave the whole blueprint of how you can get into the nursing field fast and all of that. And so I did an exclusive live stream just for the bag chasers with them a while ago. So it's so many gems and everything like that. Type nurse inside of the search bar when you join the Patreon and that video will come up. But how many of y'all will be able to survive and thrive, not just survive, but thrive and put yourself in a great position making $182,000 a year?
Y'all heard me, okay? She grossed $182,000 last year. That's the amount of money that you make before deductions and before taxes. She killed the game last year, you all, working agency and travel nursing. She absolutely killed it.
I agree, Molly.
However, at the time of our discussion, which was June the 3rd of this year, June 3rd, 2023, she shared that her bank account was $283.59 in the negative.
She didn't just say the bank account is only $280. She said it's $280 in the negative. That means she got a couple of overdraft fees on top of that. How? I tell people all the time, and they cannot believe it when I say the statistics. When I go and I pull up the data and I say, listen, the majority of people that make over $100,000 a year, let alone $180,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $250,000 a year, and I tell them all the time, and I said that the majority of people that make this, over half of people that make this are living paycheck to paycheck. They are waiting for the next hit, waiting on their next direct deposit to is nurses that make $200,000 a year that get payday loans, and you wouldn't believe it. Nurses that make $200,000 a year and they get payday loans, $600 increment payday loans. They got Klarna, Afterpay, credit cards. They're going to be riding in that Nissan Altima. They may even have a little baby Benz. They're going to get to the money, but they are absolutely positively broke. Being broke has nothing to do with how much money you make. Being broke has to do with how much money that how you manage your money. That's what broke is. It's people that make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year that have a greater net worth and know how to manage their money more effectively than people that make $180,000 a year. Because just because you have the skill set doesn't mean you have the business acumen or the financial literacy to force yourself to be responsible. And a lot of times, and I tell people this all the time, that you got to pray for character, you got to pray for understanding, you got to pray for wisdom, you got to get all of these other tools, because when you then have the talent or you start to get to the money, it's not going to carry you into the spaces. Your mistakes are going to be 10 times larger because you have more to play with, and money doesn't make you a better person. It makes you more of what you already are. Let's continue to what she's saying.
After making $182,000 last year, her bank account was almost $300 in the negative. Like I say, this is a safe and non-judgmental atmosphere because I've seen this happen to nurses, to doctors, to lawyers.
Doctors are bad with their money also.
People that you walk past and you would think that they don't have a financial care in the world. I've seen that happen over and over again. So the first thing that I did with her was not just look at what she grossed.
Reading that super chat shortly.
I wanted her to realize what she netted, the amount of money that was actually deposited in her bank account. In doing that, we went through her bank account for the entire year and added up all of her paychecks from all of her sources. And in doing that, we figured out that she had actually brought home slightly over $140,000 last year. And 6 months later, she was living paycheck to paycheck, and her bank account is in the negative. Okay?
Probably didn't contribute anything into the 401k, Roth 401k, HSA, savings, brokerage account, none of that stuff.
I think it is a very good thing for any and everyone to do. Not just know how much you make, not look at your W-2 form at the end of the year. Because I know many of us look at our W-2 form at the end of the year and be like, where the money reside? What that money at right there? And that was a huge eye-opener for her to see that she had brought home that much money and had nothing to reasons why nurses and other people in the world are like really broke. The first thing that I always identify with nurses of why they are broke, okay, and why they are living paycheck to paycheck is because they are doing too much too fast. Doing too much too fast. When the average person, the average nurse, leaves nursing school, that is most likely the most money that they have ever made in their life. And they do, like I said, what I call too much too fast.
It's called new money.
Gotta have their dream car
New
right
money.
out of nursing school.
Yep.
Gotta have their dream house right out of nursing school. Their dream apartment. All of a sudden,
they get on TikTok and they start talking about how I don't need no man. I make my own money. If he can't do for me what I can do for myself, or if he not making $127,000, if he not making $180,000 a year, then if you can't match my swag, then it ain't nothing that you can do for me, baby. Bye. That's what they say.
For some reason, they think that that is the time to go and get their apartment downtown with the floor to ceiling windows. That is not the time, honey. You are doing too much too fast right out of nursing school. Let's just start right there.
Most people adjust their lifestyle to whatever it is that they're making.
Okay? Doing too much too fast. The next thing that I always identify with a lot of people when I sit down with them with their finances, okay? And the next thing that I see a lot of nurses, a lot of people that went to college, got degrees, starting their career, is they do not attack their student loans right outside of nursing school.
Why? When Biden is going to forgive it anyway. Biden paid the cost. Taxpayers is going to forgive it anyway. Why pay they student loans off when they could just sit there and say, oh my God, the cost of living is so high. They could just defer it. Most people just believe and they could just make payments. They don't look at the interest. They don't look at none of that stuff. We just going to make payments. We just going to chill. Let me see what else she got to say. Student loans, no budget, work hard, credit cards and afterpay. That's a big one. Electronics and social media, overtime. I think that she's accurate. We don't have to go too much into it. I think that she's pretty accurate. The fact of the matter is that it's all lifestyle. That's what it comes down to. Most people have a difficult time adjusting to new money. And when I say new money, I mean that I was very blessed to go broke and to make a lot of money when I was 18 because I had to learn a lesson and suffer as a result of it by going broke in 2007, 2008 during the recession, and it wasn't no opportunity. So then when I got money again, I said, listen, I'm not adjusting my lifestyle. I'm not moving out of where I'm moving out of. My father is the head maintenance guy at this facility, at this apartment complex. We living here for free. They living there for free. We just going to stack up. We going to run it up. We going to throw every single dollar that we have. Yeah, we did the little vacations. We got a little car here and there, but we didn't go and buy exotics. We didn't go and buy big cars. We bought little cars. We bought nice cars. We bought stuff that was dope, but we stayed. We probably spent less than 5% of our budget. Money was booming from businesses. Money was booming from corporate America. Real estate money was really, really getting it. Real estate was cheap back then, really cheap. Interest rates was nothing. And so we basically just put every single thing that we had over the next 10 years into everything. And then when my father passed away in 2017, they was like, all right, we about to start charging you rent. I was like, well, if I got to start actually paying for something, then either I'm going to live in something that I already own, or I'm going to go and actually get what I want because I can start showing that money. You know what I'm saying? So, and I did. I would buy stuff. I would buy before we actually started showing money. I own some Rolexes, but I understood that the value of those Rolexes was going to continue to appreciate and they would keep up with the rate of inflation and they held their value. I would buy nice things as a milestone moment, but I didn't really spend no money on lifestyle things. I just kind of chilled and I let it rock out. So I guess the point that I'm making to y'all is that once you get used to having money, it's almost like people need to get it out of their system before they start to actually make the investment into themselves. But I would actually advocate for you guys to be a little bit more careful, and that if you're around a group of people that's actually going in the direction that you're going in, then you won't move that type of way. So I'll give you an example. If you're around a bunch of people that's always popping bottles and spending money and going on vacations and all of that, you're more than likely going to be influenced by the same thing. And so you're going to start to live your life similar to how they live their lives, and it's not going to be fruitful for you. But if you're around a group of people that's actually very, very careful and they're focused and they dedicated and they trying to get this certain thing off, and they, more likely are more likely to put money into their brokerage account, put more money into their investments accounts, take care of business and all of that stuff, then you're more than likely going to adapt to that cultural norm, and that's going to be normal for you. You're not going to have to show a bunch of money in order to impress people, because ain't nobody going to be impressed. They all know that they can buy it, but they're not tripping off of it because they're not ready to buy nothing until they get to a certain financial milestone in their life. Even every watch that I've ever bought, it always came with a milestone. I had to accomplish a certain thing and then reward myself, and that's how I put the carrot in front of my face in order to incentivize me in order to continue to work. Now, you get to a point in your life when you get to so much money, or you start to get to your money rolling over and making money for you, or you get assets to how much money you can keep and then prevent yourself from giving over to the federal government legally. But that's a whole nother conversation. Make sure y'all join the Patreon for that. I got a video that I'm dropping this week. Somebody requested for me to drop a video based off of the 8 sources of income that I have. And so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. Let me read.